Hi guys, this is Nao from Ales Gaming TV. In this video, we will talk about my suggestion on how you can easily clear the battlefield of Chaos Fortress of Blazing Fire. Take note that this is just a suggestion, and this doesn't mean that it is the only way for you to clear this dungeon, so you can always create your own build that fits your playstyle. But before we begin, I just want to share that you can support us in Netmarble's content creator program by clicking the link in the description. Once you've supported us, we will be able to send codes and coupons directly to your account via the supporters tab. We will also post those codes publicly on our Facebook page once Netmarble gives us some airdrops that we can share with our supporters. Also, be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more solo leveling Arise content. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video.
Ales Gaming TV.
So the first skill for this build is Death Dance. This skill has a rune called High Speed Rotation that allows you to deal wind element damage. It also has a weak break effect, but the good thing about this skill is that it has 3 charges that you can use multiple types. So having this skill in your kit will help you not just with mobility but also when you're trying to pump up more wind damage in a short amount of time. Next will be Armor Break. We all know that this skill is currently the best one when it comes to breaking shield gauge. That's why it will be very beneficial for us to use this skill for this specific dungeon since we will need to break the shield gauge of multiple enemies for us to deal more damage. The best one we can use for this dungeon is Vacuum Wave because it deals a decent amount of wind element damage on top of the debuff that increases the damage taken by the target. So combining this with High Speed Rotation will help you create one of the best combos you can use to clear this dungeon easily. Now that we're done with the skills, let's proceed with the Blessing Stones. For this one, I highly suggest that you use the Boss Slayer since you will face multiple boss monsters here in the battlefield of Chaos, and using this Blessing Stone will allow you to deal more damage. You can also use Reawakening to lessen the cooldowns of your skills and spam them to break your opponent's shield gauge much faster. Pulverize will also be a great option since most of the time, you will face enemies with shield gauges. That's why having this in your kit will increase your team's overall performance. I also want to include Camouflage since for me, this is the best defensive skill we have right now because it allows us to tank attacks that deal more than 5% of our health and also helps us to not be staggered so we can continue our damage rotation. It is more like a super armor that you can use once in a while. If you don't have the mentioned Blessing Stone and you have more slots to fill, then it's best that you balance your Blessing Stones between offensive and defensive ones. You can use 3 offensive Blessing Stones and 1 defensive to have a sustainable build. However, if you're extremely confident with your dodging skills, then you can always go for a Glass Cannon type that has 4 offensive Blessing Stones. So now let's proceed with the weapons. For this dungeon, the best one would be the West Wind, since most of us are already aware that this is still the strongest weapon when it comes to wind element damage. So using this weapon will definitely shred those boss monsters in no time. You can also use the Demon King Longsword because it also deals wind element damage and provides you with a little bit of defensive capability that will help you survive those tight situations. However, if you don't have those weapons, you can always use what you have. The most important thing is that you know how to build your skills and blessings, as well as how to use them. Next will be SSR Hunters. For higher stages of the battlefield of Chaos, I highly suggest that you use at least 1 healer since most of your hunters don't dodge that well and they always end up tanking a lot of attacks. So having at least 1 healer like Min Byung-gu or Malin Fisher will increase your team's survivability. I also suggest that you use hunters that apply a debuff like Cha Hae-in or Libor to pump your total damage output. Lastly, you can also use Alicia if you want to have a little bit of crowd control since it will definitely help you dish out more damage and continue to spam your DPS rotation without thinking about dodging or evading attacks. However, since this dungeon is weak to wind element, then you can also use both Wong Dongsu and Jinchul if you have them built because they will definitely deal a ton of damage due to being wind element hunters. Alright, since everything is set, I will just play a clip of me doing my daily runs for this dungeon.
I'll break through with my own strength.
shall we? Feel the wrath of Thetis! Let's attack them! I see an opening. Feel the wrath of Thetis! It's no use. Now, shatter!
Stronger!
This will really help me grow. Too slow. You're an unworthy opponent. Feel the wrath of Thetis! It was a good fight.
So that's it. I hope I was able to help you have a better setup for clearing the battlefield of Chaos Fortress of Blazing Fire. You can comment down below if you think that we missed some information or if you have any suggestions on what we should tackle next. Also, remember to play this game at your own pace, never get burned out, and always have fun. Till next time. Peace.